University. Marzano. Batting 6, the first baseman, number 19, Mcizek. Batting 7, the third baseman, number 34, Cruz. Batting 8, the catcher, number 33, Johansen. And batting 9, the shortstop, number 11, Connor DeForge. Head coach for the Cougars, Neil Rio.
Right after. And we are live at the Sandcastle here in Atlantic City. It's Rowan Profs Baseball, the Njac tournament. It's the semifinal round here on BFA between Rowan and Kean University. Wonderful day for baseball, postseason in the NCAA and in the Njac. I'm Chris Losey along with Doug Stasic as usual. Baseball at its finest here. The Njac is one of the best conferences at the Division III level, and they're going to show it off today, Rowan being the top seed.
It's playoff time. There's nothing better. These guys were totally pumped up, Chris. The fact of the matter, if you saw BP.io, looked phenomenal. A lot of guys here early taking their hacks. It is a absolutely gorgeous day out here. Wind blowing slightly to left, just how you like it.
And these two teams are obviously very familiar with one another. They not only play in the conference, but they pretty much have the kids that intersect, if you will. I mean, Mike Dixon, the head coach at Rowan, and Neil Ivero from Kean, they're recruiting. They always mix, match, and cross, and we're going to get back to that after our national anthem here in Atlantic City. .71 degrees, picture perfect day here down the shore in Atlantic City as we look at the umpires for this afternoon's game. This is game one of a doubleheader, and it is a best of three. The if game, Doug, being tomorrow. Umpires, by the way, home plate umpires Mark Rowan, Justin Sims is at first, and Bill Rush is over at third. So, all right, so the scenario is very simple, a split. We have a game tomorrow. Other than that, we have a sweep, and one of these teams goes to the finals.
Yeah, let's take a look at this Kean starting lineup. Brought to you by us at BFA Sports.
Ain't that something, right? For Neil Iavero's Cougars, it'll be Frank Lojadis, the designated hitter, leading off. Phil Malik is at center field, bats second. Christian Pallone at second base, bats third. The left fielder, Tim Huxon, is the cleanup spot. He'll bat fourth. Zach Marzano in right field will hit fifth. Mike Lipinski at first base, hitting sixth. Chris Chiaccio at third. He'll bat seventh. Josh Jackson, the catcher, hitting eighth. The shortstop, Connor DeFors, will bat ninth. And as you see at the bottom, it says pitcher Frank Lojadis, which is the same as the designated hitter. It's the rule at college is used for a few years now, the pitcher DH. So Lojadis could actually come into the game or leave the game as a pitcher and still stay the designated hitter. And that's who they're going to be facing this afternoon. The pitcher is Drew Ryback, number 9, the lefty for the Profs. The rest of the defense in the infield, it's Eric DiDomenico, Alex Kokos, Nick Schooley, and Victor Cruz rounding out the infield. In the outfield, left to right, Ryan Mostrangeli, Jason Bobiak, Ryan Murphy is in right field. The catcher today, Jared Marks. All set to go here in the Njac semifinal. It's a very good tournament. Last time I saw an Njac playoff game, I officiated in it. So it's been a while. And, by the way, let me take this opportunity to thank you so much for your warm thoughts as I was doing the plate and you were on the mic with Al Fisher. So thank you it makes you feel really, really loved in that Thank You Classic.
Well, there's nothing better than constructive criticism, Chris, and that's what we're here for. I mean, if you don't have thick skin, this is a tough booth to be in here at BFA Sports. So we're so proud to bring you this Njac playoffs here on behalf of Rowan University, and it looks like, my friend, it is go time.
It's on. It's a semifinal matchup. This is game one of the doubleheader. And the pitcher, Lojadis, will lead off for the Cougars. By the way, in the other semifinal, it's TCNJ going up against William Patterson. Rowan coming into this game, the top seed, 2-1 in the conference. It's a short season, right? 6-1, 7-2. Look at the scores here.
Yeah, the way the season actually ended up being, it was almost like that concentrated orange juice when we were kids. You know, frozen can. You got a couple weeks, add some water, and see what you can do.
Something like that. Lojadis to get things started for Ryback on the mound. First pitch of the ball game is down low, and we're underway here in Atlantic City. Again, 71 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. It's just a perfect day for baseball here on BFA Sports. Kean and Rowan, Division III semifinal in the Njac tournament. Always has been a very, very good conference for baseball. Count is 2-0 now. You've been in this position as a coach many times, not at this level, but I mean, you know, you've been at this point in a tournament where you go pretty far. Nerves become a factor, Doug. It's going to be on to the coaches to try and settle them down. There's a strike call.
Well, we always talk about you got to have ice in your veins, you know, and it is. It's only natural. These guys are human, believe it or not. I know sometimes you put the uniform on and we think we see them do superhuman things. Certainly Coach Dixon has one of his best arms and trust in the southpaw. So Ryback can breathe easily knowing that he's got a magnificent defense and a coach has got his back.
Fouled at the plate. The count even now at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the pitcher designated hitter, Frank Lojadis. Phil Malik is on deck, the center fielder, followed by the second baseman, Christian Pallone. Ryback always pitching out of the stretch. Do you see an advantage to that at all?
I think it's the comfort level. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a lefty. Get a runner on base. It's easy to hypnotize him with your eyes, but if that's where your comfort level is and it works, and I would say it does, as he strikes out the first batter.
Lojadis goes down swinging, chased that pitch out of the zone. That's one out here in the first. You want to give props again for getting us in the booth? Why not?
Well, we got to give props to Ernie Corsi, guy holding down the fort here at the beautiful Sandcastle Stadium. You know, I love the fact that there's a lot of history here, but a lot of work has been put in. So little by little, this place is kind of making a comeback. And I know there's some exciting plans that have been discussed and underway. So don't hold your breath. Future is bright here in Atlantic City.
Nice to see. Off-speed pitches in there. Phil Malik, the center fielder.
I'm digging these unis. The white numbers on the gray for Kean.
For Kean, yeah. Just off the outside edge, 1-1. Great vantage point this afternoon, and our center field camera, everything is just absolutely perfect. You must have got here at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, man. Well, parking was at a premium, but you look at the beautiful Atlantic City skyline in the background. We are high atop Sandcastle Stadium.
Come to think of it, I'm kind of liking the white numbers too. Here's a 1-1 from Ryback. Up the middle, shortstop. Schooley's got it. 2 outs.
Yeah, Schooley, pride of Cherokee High School, guy here in South Jersey. Some familiar names, as well as Dean Domenico. Didn't have to go far on the recruitment trail to grab some big-time talent, and he is backing up his pitcher.
And likewise for Kean, too. And if you look at their list, I mean, they primarily go to the north, but you've got Bordentown down there and Pennsville, so Barnegat.
Yeah, pretty cool of actually Schooley. He spent some time with his alma mater. So Coach had him on a Zoom call just the other night, spent some time with some of the old guys and letting them know what's life like being a freshman over here at Rowan University and how is the college scene a bit different. And some really good times. I know the kids in the Chiefs Nation were very appreciative.
Did it hit Pallone? No, but going to do a check and appeal, no swing. 1 ball, 1 strike to the second baseman, Christian Pallone. 2 out, nobody on here. Top of the first, just underway here on BFA.
3-man crew today, Chris.
Yes.
Is that something that's the usual in the Njac?
At this level, at the playoff, it is. And the one I had was Rowan and Rutgers Camden. And the great Keith Williams was at the helm for Rutgers Camden. That pitch is outside. 2-1. Hear the dugout. I think it's a good thing, too, because this is a professional in terms of the dimensions, a professional ballpark. The dugouts are well removed from the field, so you're not going to get much issue from what's going on from the dugout. That pitch is down low. 2-1. But, yeah, you're right about the stadium. I mean, did you see the picture I sent you, by the way, the brawl here?
I did. I noticed that you weren't anywhere near getting in the middle of said brawl, however.
No, not even close. Fouled at the plate, 2-2.
And that was many moons ago at a professional game. We should mention.
2007.
I don't want anybody to get confused and think it was some kind of collegiate adventure.
No, not at all. No. That was the seeds were planted the night before when third baseman ran over a catcher, which was legal back then. Here we have 2-2 to Christian Pallone, the second baseman. With 2 outs, top of the first inning, Njac semifinal here on BFA. Into left field, and a diving attempt, and Mastrangeli comes up with it. What a catch in the outfield, and retires the side. Kean goes down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Rowan coming to bat here at the Njac semifinal on BFA. No score. Cougars go down 1-2-3 in their half of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. That is the pitcher DH that we had mentioned for Kean, Frank Lojadis. And this is the batting order that he will be facing today here in this semifinal for Game 1 for Mike Dixon. Ryan Mcizek will lead off the designated hitter. Victor Cruz in third bats second. Alex Kokos in second hits third. Ryan Murphy, the right fielder, batting cleanup. We have Nick Schooley at short from Cherokee, batting fifth. Ryan Mastrangeli, who had that great catch in left field to win the top of the first, hit sixth. Eric DiDomenico at first hit seventh. Jared Marks, the catcher, batting eighth. The center fielder is Jason Bobiak. He will bat ninth. Again, they're facing Frank Lojadis, senior 6-footer from Linden, New Jersey, and his high school was John P. Stevens. Rest of the defense behind him. Mike Lipinski is at first, Christian Pallone at second. Connor DeForge is the shortstop. Chris Chiaccio is at third in the outfield. Tim Huxon, Phil Malik, and Zach Marzano. The catcher for the Cougars is Zach Jackson. So Ryan Mcizek will lead off, the designated hitter for the Profs here in the bottom of the first. Njac semifinal on BFA Sports. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, and the rest of the crew is here. This is nice. I like this.
I try to take care of everybody, give you some of the finer things.
Yeah, talking about the documentation here, the printouts, very nice.
So Ryan Mcizek leading things off, the Millville High School and Rowan College of South Jersey Cumberland alum. World Series champion, I should remind you.
Oh, really? He was on Keith Mormon's team.
Yes, sir.
Swings through that one strike. So talking to the guys from Kean before, Lojadis, 1, he'll eat a lot of innings. 2, he will mix up a lot of pitches. And in that case, he just started off Mcizek with something off speed. Here's the 0-1. Lifted into the air to center field. Malik is over there. Puts it away. That's the first out of the inning.
Made it look routine. Good first step, good read off the board. We did mention the fact that the wind is blowing pretty stiff to left field, so could be a little bit tricky as the day wears on. And we've been here before, some mid-afternoon doubleheaders. The high noon sun is for real at the outfield, so I don't know if Oakley might happen to be a sponsor of either organization, but that's going to be
you can't say that.
Something. Maybe they could be.
I'm going to tell the boss on you.
Yeah.
Here's Victor Cruz, the third baseman. Takes a strike call. Victor Cruz to be followed by the second baseman, Alex Kokos. And that's what he said. It's Kokos. 1 strike pitch. Must have missed outside. 1-1. Lojadis throws that little backdoor, like we call it a frisbee, actually. You call it a frisbee?
It can be that way, especially that it tails off.
Fastball misses inside. 2-1.
Pretty dominant Rowan right-handed lineup, so got to love the fact that his three-quarter action comes in on the hands. That's going to keep guys busy over on the third base side. So
that must be outside.
Yeah, so DeForge and Chiaccio are going to be quite busy, is my opinion, this afternoon.
3-1 to the Profs' third baseman, Victor Cruz. This one's lifted in the air behind the bag at first. Lipinski giving chase, makes the play. And that's 2 down.
Well, it's what you would expect to see. Good pitching, good defense. Not an easy play. I know for me, I'm not a fan if I see a moving, or I should say a non-moving stationary target. That tarp is big, heavy, but Lipinski wasn't phased, backing up his pitcher.
Here's the second baseman, Kokos. And Lojadis starts him off with a fastball. It's fouled away. Not a bad. Well, you said parking was at a premium, and there was some tailgating going on.
Hey, you saw that, I think, starting June 11th, even in Philly. You're going to be able to tailgate the Phillies
that.
game.
On the fist, DeForge is going to have to hurry, and he does, and gets Kokos, and that'll retire the side. 1, 2, 3 for Rowan. We're going to the second inning here in our Njac semifinal. Game 1 on BFA. We're scoreless. Top of the second here in Atlantic City. No score after one. 4-5-6 for the Cougars. Tim Huxon, the left fielder, Zach Marzano, the right fielder, and the first baseman, Lipchinski. Facing the lefty, Ryback. Two lefties. Interesting. Fouled back.
Bit of the unicorns, at least from a scouting and coaching perspective. Everybody wants the lefty.
I think I said it on one of the other broadcasts. Why aren't righties crafty? How come only lefties are crafty?
Yeah, they look like a crooked number. I mean, it's as simple as I could say. It just looks like a crooked number.
One strike pitch. Off speed is high. Ball on a strike. Tim Huxon. You can hear the dugout now.
They're chirpy.
From Kean. Check swing. Did he go? Bill Rush says no. 2 balls in the strike. You know, it's funny because you have your ear out as an umpire to make sure they don't cross the line, but you are entertained by what you hear. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
They got a veteran crew. It's down here this afternoon.
Right back at a 2-1. Caught the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I actually used to coach with and against the home plate umpire, Mark Rowan, not too many years ago. Is awesome dude, giving a lot of time to the younger kids out there in Vineland. He and I had some fun.
2-2 is lifted into left center field. Mastrangelli chasing it, can't get it. It'll wind up to the wall, and right away, leading off the second, Tim Huxon with a double.
Wow, you want to talk about a guy putting an absolute charge into a baseball. That ball got up in a hurry, carried out into the jet stream, and that is a deep part of the park. No signage out there, but I can tell you firsthand it's all of 375 out to that point.
So now here's Zach Marzano with a runner in scoring position and nobody out for the Cougars in the top of the second. Pick off. Ball gets away, and Huxon's going to go to third.
Playoff baseball, you have to put some pressure when you can on the defense. They did, forced them to make a play and took advantage. So just like that, we have a runner just 90 feet from the first run of the ball game.
I think now, and this is good. Now, Justin Sims, first base umpire, he's not going to let him out of the dugout again. The last 2 times they've been reacting, they've been coming out onto the field. Got to put a stop to that.
It's the playoffs.
No.
It's the playoffs.
There's a difference, though. You don't do it in the regular season, you don't do it in the playoffs. Attaboy, Justin. So a runner now at third. Nobody out. And the first pitch to Marzano is up high.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Sure you are.
You're an umpire. That's why I'm
know,
gonna disagree with you.
are.
Just the coach in me feels as if I have to disagree with you.
Yeah. And one thing about Mark Rowan, too, he will find a 3-man game anywhere he can and totally dedicated to his craft. Very impressive. To short, that's going to bring in a run. Schooley, did he hold on the bag? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
So a run scores. They'll trade the out for the run, and Kean is on the board in the top of the second. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the first baseman, Mike Lipchinski.
First baseman, number 19, Mike Lipchinski.
It's good baseball. Take advantage, big-time hit to start the inning off, make them pay for their mistake. The only thing he needed to do was put the ball in play. RBI.
RBI fielder's choice, like Doug mentioned. Base is empty and 1 out now in the top of the second. Lipchinski takes a strike, the first baseman for the Cougars. Lefty on lefty. We're not going to see that much today, are we there, partner?
No, the lefty on lefty matchup is kind of nice. So Coach Dixon.
Off speed up the middle, and that's a base hit. Lipchinski keeps it going for the Cougars, and Chiaccio will bat, the third baseman, with 1 out.
Well, now we're going to get an opportunity to see a little bit about what do the Kean Cougars have in store from a run game dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the southpaw staring you down, as I like to say, the hypnotic hold the runner. Just stare. Just use your eyes.
Double H.
Maybe briefly
wow, look at the
be
lead,
enamored
too.
with you. Oh,
And he's going right on the first move. And he's there with a stolen base. And look at that Kean dugout now. They're really fired up. Stolen base for Marzano.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, the reality of it is this is where you start to feel each other out a little bit. What's the strategy? And it seems like being the away team on the road, 3-game series, put the pressure right on the Profs by making them make plays early on.
That's Lepchinski actually with the stolen base. Marzano with the RBI fielder's choice here in the second. That one's hit the left field toward the line.
And it's chalk.
And that is a fair ball. Kean's going to get another run. A double. Chiachio to the left field wall. 2-0.
These guys are fired up, and how can you absolutely blame them? 2 big-time hits early in this one. That one just roped down the line. I was a little concerned, got up in the jet stream. Would it stay fair? Foul was fair by about 2 feet.
The 8th hitter, the catcher, Josh Jackson. Same thing. Runner at first. Now we've got a delay, and we've got Justin Sims coming over to the dugout again.
Yeah, I struggle with this. I mean, that wasn't just a routine play. That wasn't a ground out. I mean, he roped that ball, and they scored another run, man.
If you would like to change the rule book, I will give you the secretary editor of the rule book, his cell phone if you'd like. Call bench jockeying. You can't do it.
You should have a buffer. You're playing in a stadium setting. Give him the track.
No.
Give him the track.
No.
Is the argument because it's technically a live ball?
No, it's taunting.
It's taunting.
It's taunting.
Okay. I thought they were screaming, "You're my boy, Blue."
Yeah,
I thought that's what they were yelling.
That is something you'll never, ever hear. 1-0 to the catcher.
Ooh.
Now that hit him, didn't it? Yes, it did.
Dead ball. Gonna send him back.
So the hit by pitch has first and second now for the Cougars, and 1 out already with 2 runs in here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, this is the one that if you're Rowan, you want to roll a grounder, get out of the inning, little double play action, and go right back to business. Simple as that.
2 on and 1 out now for the Cougars. They have 2 runs in. And the bottom of the order, the shortstop, Connor DeForge.
Especially in this spot, Chris. Bottom of the lineup. You don't want to be in the second inning, and the offense is already getting a second look at the pitcher. Not in the second inning.
Lojadiso on deck. He was a strikeout victim his first at bat. Now Ryback. A ground ball will get him out of this one, though. And the middle infield for the Profs is very good with Schooley and Kokos. But it's hit the third. Cruz. They'll get 1. They'll get 2 on the scoop, and a nice play by DiDomenico at first. So it ends the threat. A 5-4-3 double play. 2 runs for Kean in the top of the second. We're going to the bottom of the second on BFA. 2-0. Kean here. 2 runs for the Cougars in the top of the second. They have an early lead here in Game 1 of the Njac semifinal matchup between Rowan and Kean here on BFA. And in the bottom of the second inning for the Profs, Ryan Murphy, the right fielder, will lead off. Have you ever seen any of these kids when they were in their youth?
Yeah, he's got a star-studded lineup. Murphy being one of them. This guy can hit big time.
Pitcher DH is Frank Lojadis. Pitches outside. And I know they say Lojudis on their pronunciation guide, but I had an Uncle Ray, and he was Lojadis.
Lojadis?
Yes, he did, and it's the Italian way, so.
All right, I'll buy that.
I don't think they'll have a problem with that. By the way, it sounds better.
Yeah, why not?
It's American.
Why not?
Yeah. 1-1. Just missed. So we're up in the press box now instead of in the seats, which would be below us.
Yeah, I want to thank, again, Ernie Corsi.
He's everywhere.
Wonderful job taking care of this facility and helping us roll out the red carpet.
Here's a 2-1. That's there. 2-2 to Murphy, the right fielder, followed by the shortstop, Nick Schooley, and the left fielder, Ryan Mastrangeli. Or did I say Mastrangeli? You know, some say Mastrangeli.
Well, I think it's Strangeli.
Count runs full.
Yeah, so Murphy, Chris, batting .406 on the year. And he can hit the ball a bit with 7 home runs.
That's a nugget. There you go. What year is he in? Foul back.
So you want to talk about a big guy, though. I mean, this dude is 6'7".
Oh, yeah. And that's the problem, too, because a pitch that is around above his belt is high. I'm sorry. And conversely, a pitch that's at the catcher's shin guards is at his shin is a strike. Here comes the 3-2.
Oh.
Off speed, and he got him. Lojadis with his first strikeout.
Why not? That was silly.
1 out in the second. You heard someone in the Kean dugout yell, "That was ugly." I'd have some fun. Yeah. Shortstop Schooley with a couple balls hit to him thus far. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, Schooley steps into this one batting .314. And another guy has been a good job with the RBI machine, 21.
Missed that one. 1-1. I can't help it, but every time I'm here, I bring back to the days and nights of the surf games that we did. That skyline at night, you would love that. That one's going to fall for a hit, and Rowan gets their first base runner. And it's Nick Schooley. So he's on with 1 out for the left fielder, Ryan Mastrangeli or Mastrangeli. You know, if he had a walk-up, it was an Italian little flavor to it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, we got the Rowan radio guys in the booth next to us, so I'm sure they have some familiarity there. So if you want a ruling on that one, I can help you out.
It's kind of tough though when the name ends in a vowel, though. We're gonna call executive orders on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Schooley at first and 1 out. We'll see now with Lojadis in the stretch. If you'll recall, when Ryback was in the stretch, and then you had Lepchinsky, he didn't even hesitate. He got a huge lead like he was coming out of a parking spot, and he wasn't going back.
Yeah.
He was out of there. 1-0 with 1 on. Inside corner, 1-1. Eric DiDomenico is on deck, the first baseman. We all agree that that's how you pronounce that name.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a pickoff. They've got him. Oh, wow. Justin Sims says he missed him. The ball was clearly there.
Well, the only thing that matters is what he says, Chris.
Exactly, and Neil Iavera was not coming out of the dugout, so he must have agreed with Justin. He was dead to rights, but we're up here. Must not have tagged him. Here comes the 1-1. Missed that one. And a ball and 2 strikes. The left fielder, Mastrangeli. We'll flip-flop it.
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out to my guy, Chuck Thielman. Good old Stevens. He's tuning in. And a big fan of the Cougars, as he likes to say. You can never count them out come playoff time. So
nope.
The guy that is got some Cougar blood in him up there in North Jersey. Hashtag go Cougs.
Neil Iavera does a great job.
That one fouled way down the left field side. So we got a good.
So the
fight
count is still
going.
1-1. I'm sorry, what's that? I
Good
couldn't
fight
hear you.
going on between the pitcher and the batter here.
I love it. Remember Al Holland when he was the closer for the Phillies in '83? He would yell at the batters to get in the batter's box.
You're dating yourself, Chris.
Here comes a 1-2. Fouled back. Good pitch on the hands. Neil Iavera, head coach from Kean, hosts the American Legion State Finals. And we get a chance to go see him. Yeah. And does a really nice job. Good guy. 2 really, really good coaches. Fierce competitors today.
Goes for the pick again.
I don't know. Obviously, Schooley must have been a swim move, but there was no argument, so got it right. That is caught at third, and that is going to be an easy double play. Chiaccio right there, turning the 5-3 double play, and that ends that.
Oh, man. Splashing the leather, dude. Just a great, great way to be.
To the third, 2-0 Kean on BFA. Top of the third here in our Njac semifinal. 2-0. Kean is in front. And don't forget, we have the if game. If these teams split today, that will be tomorrow. We got 2 o'clock. Was that the correct start on that one?
It was 2 o'clock. Or it is 2 o'clock. Will be 2 o'clock.
You sure?
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. But we're talking about the future. I didn't bring my DeLorean, so I wasn't sure if we're actually going to go into the future or come back.
One of my favorite shows. The pitcher DH, Lojadis, leading off, strikeout victim in the first inning, fouled that one away. 1 strike pitch, that's in the hole in the right field, and it's a base hit. So Ryback getting hit a little bit. Got a nice double play to get out of the last inning. But he's got a leadoff base runner to deal with in Lojadis, and the center fielder Malik is up. 0 for 1. You know, part of the game is you feed off of momentum and things like that. So they had a fast runner for Rowan at first, 1 out, and a bullet the third, inning over just like that on the 5-3 double play. Throw back over. So Malik, the center fielder, followed by Christian Pallone. Little cat and mouse, like you mentioned, Doug, and that's something that won't last in this game. Chopped to short. Schooley's got it. Steps on the bag, and that's going to be a double play.
Great work by Schooley. Footwork. Find the bag first, right? Sometimes you see that a little bit too much. You feel like you got to make a play. You rush it. Schooley didn't. Knew exactly where the bag was. Make sure he got there. Finished the throw. Outstanding defense to back up Ryback here.
So it's a 6-3 double play, 2 outs and nobody on, and it's the second baseman, Christian Pallone, and he was robbed in left field in his last time up by Ryan Mastrangelli. See, I'm telling you, we're going to flip-flop them. We're going to alternate. Strike 1 to him. Back in the days in radio, we can get away with things like, for example, football. We had somebody having the ball and it wasn't him. We just had him lateraling the ball. It's no big deal. You know. Here's 1 strike pitch off the outside corner, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Here on a beautiful, what's today? Friday.
It is.
Friday afternoon. Pitches inside.
And 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
And for those watching, this isn't your typical college doubleheader where it's 2 sevens. These are 2 separate games, playoff format, so we're going 18 today.
This conference always does that. It's a killer. And when they were on Sundays, it's your whole day is shot at pitches outside.
A lot on the line, though. Well worth the price of admission, which is free here at the Sandcastle.
Oh, was it?
And certainly free as those watching.
Why'd I put Ryan then on the list then? There was somebody out there I thought to take some money. Maybe not. Yeah.
Oh.
It's insane.
I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
In the dirt ball 4, Pallone walks. He's a 2-out base runner for the left fielder, Huxon. Huxon started the second inning with a double. Later scored a run. Actually went to third first on a pickoff error by Ryback and then scored a run. First pitch to Huxon is down low. His double to left center field is a good example of how both these teams have been able to use all sides of the field.
Well, he likes to spray the ball around. Here's a 402 hitter coming into this one.
And if you're hitting 402, you got to be able to hit on both sides. That throw back over. Pallone is back. Yeah, are we picking that up, by the way, on the microphone? I assume we are.
I think we are barely here. I mean, I'm hearing it, so I don't know if it's because it's coming through my headset or I do have one ear off, as we like to say in the biz.
You do. I noticed that. Back to the mound. Ryback's got it. Easy play. Inning over.
PFP.
Nothing for the Cougars in their half of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third on BFA. 2-0 Kean in the Njac semifinal here on BFA. The bottom of the third, here in our first game of a doubleheader in the Njac semifinal on BFA. And this is the Rowan's half of the third. The first baseman, Eric DiDomenico, up. And we were talking about names and pronunciation, and I got overruled at our commercial break. I'll tell you about that in a second. DiDomenico swings at that, 1 strike to him. So the Kean pitcher, even though Uncle Ray didn't say it that way, it's Lo Judas. So we'll do a Lo Judas. And that grin on your face, you know.
My grin is because Kim DeRitter from Kean actually sent us the
pronunciation guide. I know.
And you went off. You're like, nah, my Uncle Frank. And I'm
Ray.
Like, Ray, whatever.
Uncle Frank. 1-1. It's on the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And also, it's Ryan Mastrangeli, the left fielder, for Rowan.
Well,
all right, that's fine. 1-2 just missed.
And I love the fact that Marie Wozniak, the associate AD, comes in. And she makes sure that we got the message. So you got to run a tight ship, and certainly one we
Marie's
appreciate.
great.
And listen, anytime someone actually calls you out, I'm enjoying it. So feel free, keep them coming.
Marie's great. 1 hop to short.
Nice
Dig out after the nice scoop by DeForge. And making the play at first is Lipchinski, 1 down here in the third. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time. You know, it's all this material for this alleged roast that Al Fisher's been talking about for a while. By the way, how is Al doing?
Al's doing well. He's stuck at the desk today, so he couldn't be with us. But who knows? He might actually make an appearance for game number 2. You never know.
1 out, no base runners in the bottom of the third. This is the catcher, Jared Marks.
So if it were Al in here and something like that would happen, I would actually give out a description of your vehicle. So anybody might be upset with you for not getting the name right, they could have their way, you know, and you would never know.
Well, what's worse, that or making a bad call?
It's tough.
Which I've never done in my life, right?
That's a very
2-0.
That's a very good point there, Chris. That could be a poll question.
Uh-oh. Has Chris Losey made a bad call?
Oh.
Way inside. It's 3-0 now to the catcher Marks with the center fielder Jason Bobiak on deck. (3-0), and the Profs get a base runner. Marks walks on 4 pitches. So Rowan with a base runner here with 1 out in the bottom of the third. And the 8-hitter is the center fielder Bobiak. You have a catcher that's running at first, so you wonder, there's an easy throwback by Lo Judas.
It's the obligatory throwback over there.
And I know you're there.
I don't really want to throw it, but all right, if I have to.
Coach told me I have to, right? Called strike. Dropped by the catcher Jackson, but Mark Rowan called it a strike, and it's 1 strike to Bobiak.
I still can't believe we're in this booth together all day long, and you have the nerve to bring in garlic bread.
Yeah, well, it was from a customer. It's homemade. It's outstanding.
You could slay dragons in here with that
No,
breath
come
already.
on now. That's not true. The window's open. Beautiful day. Slay dragons. Top of the order, by the way, next for Rowan. Oh, 1 to Bobiak. Missed outside, 1-1.
Bobiak with 2 triples on the season thus far.
1 would be nice for them.
They love it right now. How about that? That ball is
It's fair down the line.
Round and round they come.
Marks is going to come around. He's going to score. It's a double for Bobiak, and Rowan's on the board. It's 2-1.
I don't know if I have ESP or I just happen to say, like, I know this guy. Pride of Gloucester Catholic. Guys come up clutch time and again, and maybe it's just a gold jersey. He's been wearing that in his high school and now his college career.
Of course, the well-known program at Gloucester Catholic, countless state championships. So Rowan gets on the board on the double by Bobiak, and he's at second with the top of the order, Ryan Mcizek. And they're going to walk him intentionally.
Maybe they know something.
So it'll put runners at first and second. One out, set up the double play for the third baseman, Victor Cruz. He's 0 for 1 today.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Drinking out of a fire hose here in the third, all this action.
Little drama here, first and second. One out. Profs have a run in. Now time is called at the plate.
Victor Cruz, 288 hitter, regular season, but an OPS of 820. Certainly a guy that knows how to be productive. 17 hits and a .458 slugging percentage.
Fouled back.
So
0-2.
got him on the ropes, 0-2. Got to think.
You don't want to bounce one, though.
No, I got to think LeJudas.
Josh Jackson now with that responsibility, the catcher. Instead, it's down the right field line, and it's fair. Here comes the tying run. Bobiak, and behind him, Mcizek, and Rowan has a 3-2 lead.
Are you kidding me?
And now they're going to, Mike Dixon's going to send, the ball went through the fence. Mike Dixon sent everybody, and now the umpire's going to get together, and they're going to put the runners back. So this is not going to be a two-run double. They're going to put the runners back. So the game is tied at 2 right now.
Absolutely nice job. 0-2 pitch, goes with it out into the corner. And I think more importantly, Chris, the reality is this is a guy that steps into the box after they intentionally walk the guy in front of him. I don't know what's better, a hit like that or the cheesecake at the Franklinville Inn after an unbelievable steak meal.
Wow.
That is tasty.
Wow. That is excellent, by the way. That place, I have not been there in a couple of years, but that place is phenomenal. RBI double for Cruz, and now it'll bring up Alex Kokos with second and third and one out. And a visit from the Kean dugout. So let's talk about that, Doug, because obviously the ball went through an open fence down the right field line, and we couldn't really tell. However, it's a ground rule double.
Well, listen, if you're Kean, that's what you call good luck, because that's about the best thing that could happen when that ball had eyes went all the way down into the corner.
Oh, he was scoring, yeah.
Instead of being behind a run, you're tied, and you got an opportunity. The unique part here, one out, runners at second and third. Do you play a little bit of small ball? I can tell you. Might not be a bad thing, but you got some of your heavy hitters right in the thick of this lineup.
Conference is over. Mark Rowan getting questioned about probably some pitches, but
he just pointed over to.
No, I just charged a visit, that's all.
Okay.
6 conferences permitted. That's the first one. So we're back to action here. Alex Kokos, 2 on, 1 out in the third. The Profs have tied it. It's 2-2. And LeJudas in some trouble here. First pitch is down low.
Oh, guys at second and third. Why not have the guy at the plate that has 23 RBI on the season? Scoring position. Single here, scores 2.
Kokos 0 for 1. Gets away. Jackson chases it. However, there goes the go-ahead run. Mcizek scores on the wild pitch. 3-2 Profs. And Cruz moves up to third.
Well, now you're in a better spot than you were just a pitch ago. So they thought, oh, well, we got a double taken away and we got 2 runs. Well, now you have the run.
Yep.
And Cruz at third, 90 feet closer than what he was.
If I know Mike Dixon, and I know Mike Dixon, there's a good opportunity here. You might see a squeeze. Instead, it's a ground ball through the drawn and infield and through for a base hit. Another run for the Profs. Cruz comes home. Kokos delivers 4-2.
Shoo, these guys. Talk about a change of momentum. Come out, get fired up, and it all started with the intentional walk on Cruz.
I would probably agree with that. I don't like to agree with you, but I think I would. By the way, you got your binoculars on you? You've got bullpen action.
Bullpen?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can come up with.
It's a righty. How about using that zoom on your phone there? Don't you have one of those nice phones?
We got nice cameras.
Okay, let's try that. Ryan Murphy. Throw back over. And the Rowan dugout now making some noise. See how they're staying on the step, though?
That wasn't the case the last 2 plays, I'm just saying.
Probably not. Inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 4 runs in for Rowan here in the third. And they lead this game 4-2. In game 1, Rowan's the top seed. And that's hit to left field, and that is deep. Deep. Huxon back, and it's gone.
My word. Talk about an absolute bomb.
6-2 Profs on the 2-run blast by Murphy.
Dude, that was on the second panel of the fence. Man.
What a turn of events this is.
Talk about fireworks. Talk about fireworks. The Profs.
It looked like something off speed, and it was right down the middle. So a 6-run inning for the Profs. And a bunt from Schooley. Lejudas off the mound. Able to make the play. And that's 2 outs.
There is action that's down there in the bullpen.
That would be Kyle Harrington.
There
Look at that.
Harrington getting loose.
No, it's not. It's 4. It's Nick Nemes.
All right.
You know what? I better check that pronunciation guide before I get in trouble again.
Let's try to be professional. Amateur hour was this morning when we were at Dunkin' Donuts. Let's go.
Oh, boy. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Just kind of went with it.
6 runs for Rowan here in the third. 2 outs, no base runners. And Mastrangeli fouled back. It's 1-1. You know, understatement to say you never count out a Mike Dixon baseball team, but I mean he just attacks you and attacks you and attacks you and attacks you. DeForge can't get that one. It's short, and another hit for the Profs. 7 of them here in the third, and the inning stays alive. Nick Nemes is in the bullpen for Kean.
First baseman Eric DiDomenico.
And here's DiDomenico. DiDomenico lined to third and started that 5-3 double play to end the inning. You remember that? He smoked that ball.
Yeah, it was a big spot for Kean there.
Same combination here with Mastrangeli at first. It was 1 out, and then the line drive, and then the 5-3 double play that ended that threat. Different story in this inning.
You got to think it changes strategy here, though. Down 4, it's still early, so you got plenty of at-bats left, but you're going to have to chip away.
Right at the 4s, this one he's able to handle, but Rowan really smacking the ball around in the third. They put 6 on the board, 7 hits, and they leave one. We're going to the fourth in game one. It is 6-2 Rowan on BFA.
One.
Welcome back. Atlantic City, New Jersey, the backdrop. Take a look at the casinos and the skyline. We're here at Sandcastle. 6-2 Rowan with the 6th spot in the bottom of the third. And we now start the fourth for Kean. And it will be Zach Marzano, the right fielder, Mike Lipchinski, and Chris Chiaccio. Facing the left-hander still, Ryback. And that hit him. So Marzano is aboard with a hit by pitch. And then I'll bring up the first baseman, Lipchinski. He singled his last time up. Marzano had the RBI on the fielder's choice to get Kean's first run. So the Cougars, as Doug mentioned, they're in chip away mode, if you will. Down 4, but 6 at-bats to go. And that's hit well into right field. It is deep at the fence. It is over Murphy's head. He'll have to play it off the fence. That's going to score 1. Marzano coming home. Lipchinski with a blast and a double. And it's now 6-3.
Man, this is like a heavyweight bout. We saw some good hitting from Kean in the last inning. Profs come up, get 6, and they just chip right away. Not a problem. I'm going to turn on this ball, and if it wasn't into the stiff wind, who knows?
Yeah, Doug, as you mentioned, the wind is blowing to the left, and you can see that shot that we had from the cameraman behind the plate who has the same last name as you.
Yeah, it does. Imagine that. So it's great. I can be tough, one of the hardest employees. It's a great employee experience here at BFA.
Send your resumes.
Actually, we got one as we were on the air.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Play-by-play.
Well, they said it'd be pretty easy to replace you. That's what he said in the email.
You sure it didn't say Al Fisher on it in the signature? Kean coming back, like you said, though, an RBI double for Mike Lipchinski. He's 2 for 2, and the third baseman Chiaccio up with a runner in scoring position, and a single here, and it's a tight game again. First pitch is popped up in the infield right side. DiDomenico staring at the sun, and he can't get it.
We talked earlier about the high noon sun. I've seen it before. We've done games here for Atlantic Cape Community College. We've had RCSJ Gloucester here. It's tough. In the middle of the afternoon, maybe hard to kind of appreciate or understand from the vantage point watching the live stream. But if you're looking straight up this time of day, I can tell you, I don't care what kind of shades you're wearing, not easy.
Not at all. So we've got a visit to the mound now for Rowan. Because all of a sudden we have first and second. And nobody out.
We talked about it. It's like a heavyweight prize fight.
Yeah, Kean making some noise.
A lot of boisterous noise coming
Why
out
not?
of the dugouts.
Why not?
That's it. Nothing wrong with that.
Mark Rowan breaking up the plate conference.
One, get out of this jam. And first and second, ground ball. Just what the doctor ordered. Was in this spot the last time.
Shortstop, Connor DeForge.
DeForge 0 for 1 as well.
Well, so much for the roll the double play. That's how the chess match works, to take that right out of the mix.
Why not? Outside, ball 1. And, of course, you do not want to walk DeForge because the pitcher DH is up, and he's the leadoff, LeJudas.
I think it speaks a lot to the athleticism of LeJudas. Not often you see a pitcher, designated hitter, and leadoff.
Oh, sure. Totally agree. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Cougar shortstop. It is 6-3, Rowan in front of Kean here in the top of the 4th inning. We have a surprise viewer, my good friend Dave Sims, the voice of the Seattle Mariners.
Hey.
Philadelphia guy, long time, who will be in attendance at the wedding.
Can't wait to hear some some stories.
Yeah, he's got a few. Here's the 1-1. To right, it'll fall for a hit. 1 run is in, and it is now 6-4. The 9-hitter DeForge with an RBI single scores Lipchinski.
Hit the ball where it's pitched. One of the hardest things to get players to embrace, but in that situation, saw the ball, pushed it right out to the right side. Good fundamental execution. And now an interesting situation as runners are at the corners with 1 out. Do you send them?
I don't know. I think I'd give LeJudas a chance here for a fly ball, perhaps. But that's why I'm up here. LeJudas 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch swinging, he fouls it back. Third base side, out of play. One strike to LeJudas. The center fielder Malik on deck. Oh, and 2. Now the Kean dugout has resurrected. It's like ebb and flow.
It's back and forth, buddy. Back and forth.
2 strikes to the pitcher DH LeJudas with Malik on deck. Cougars with 2 runs in here in the top of the 4th and have closed the gap to 6-4. That's up high. 1-2. Runners at the corners. Chiaccio at third, DeForge at first. You know, it was great to see the reaction, too, on the, which was actually the 4th run, Connor DeForge. Turns to the dugout, the 9-hitter gets a base hit and RBI at that.
Oh, squeeze!
They do squeeze. It's in the air, and this is going to be a double play. Ryback to the bag. Inning is over.
Yahtzee. Talk about just what the doctor ordered. I don't know how you order that one, but fortunate play for the Profs. They're able to take advantage, slam the door on the Kean rally here in the fourth.
Kean gets 2. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth, 6-4 Rowan here on BFA. It will be 8-9-1 for the Profs. Jared Marks, the catcher, Jason Bobiak, and Ryan Mcizek. They will be still facing the pitcher, Frank Lujudas, pitcher DH. A squeeze bunt attempted, and it ended the inning in the fourth. So it's 6-4. Rowan in front. And we'll start with Marks. Marks walked his first time up. Foul back. That was funny. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by us. That was good stuff there. One strike pitch. Off speed, misses inside. 1-1 to the catcher Marks, and Bobiak on deck, and he laced a double. That got the whole thing started last inning. A bunt with 2 strikes and a beauty. Giacchio can't handle it. That'll be an infield single.
Put pressure on the defense. Been a theme. We've seen both teams do it and execute it remarkably well. And right now, the Profs in this back and forth bout.
Now, we've got another visit, and the bullpen is active again, and he's going to make a change. Ivero is out there, and he is going to put Nemes in the game. So that'll be all on the mound for Frank Lujudas, but he will remain as the designated hitter. And for Nick Nemes, he'll come in with a 2-run deficit here in Atlantic City. Again, Lujudas will stay in the number 1 spot as the designated hitter, and Nemes will not bat. I think I just described the pitcher DH rule pretty well, right? I hope so.
It was well executed. Well executed.
Thanks. So the right-hander, Nemes in relief here in the bottom of the fourth. Nobody out. And you think on the first warm-up pitch that sails over Jackson's head, that didn't go unnoticed by the Rowan dugout.
Nah, there's not a thing. They're not missing a thing. Very sharp on that one.
So following Bobiak, it'll be the top of the order, Mcizek, and he was intentionally walked. And I remember you made the comment how that nothing better than a double by Cruz after the intentional walk. I wonder if they're going to pitch to Mcizek then. I mean, it's situational, but, you know. Base was open, and you got to play the percentages.
Well, and that was it. They were hoping to get the ground ball so they could roll a pair, get out of the inning, knowing that Mcizek is fundamentally one of the best hitters in not just the Rowan lineup, but in the NJAC. So you do. You play the numbers, and sometimes karma bites you.
Karma does a lot of things.
It does.
Yeah. So we don't have the starting pitchers yet. Dixon said he was going to let us know midway through the game if we had somebody down there in the Game 2 matchup. And they're always important for so many reasons because your pitcher, you select your pitcher, I think, based on the result of the first game because you want to save the guy you needed for the if game tomorrow.
Well, and we weren't really sure how this was going to start to play. I mean, Rowan surged ahead, and now Kean chipping away. It's a heck of a ball game going.
Indeed it is. And this is the 9-hitter, Jason Bobiak, an RBI double. He squares the bunt, and first pitch from Nemes is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. 6-4, Rowan in front. Bottom of the 4th inning here in Atlantic City on BFA. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, and the entire crew here this afternoon. Well, not the entire crew, because we got something going on at Buna too, right?
That we do.
Got to play?
Yeah, some theatrics.
I know. I actually auditioned for a part there, but they said, no, get out of here.
Well, we got plenty of theater going on right here in Atlantic City.
A bunt, and it's foul. So it's 1-1. And again, more bullpen action. See if we can get another shot of that bullpen if we could. A square and a bunt. This one's down. First base side, and it will roll foul. Lepchinski lets it go.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of mid-game matchups here from a pitching standpoint as the Cougars.
You mean right-left?
Yeah, because mid-game, trying to get yourself out of the inning, might have another guy in the pen that's a little bit longer, and Nemes perhaps they want to utilize in Game 2.
The 1-2. Hit to third, Giacchio to second for 1. The relay is not in time. Bobiak legs it out. That's the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Ryan Mcizek. We mentioned officially 0 for 1 with an intentional walk. Now, the other thing, too, about the intentional walk is the scouting report, too, from Kean. I mean, they know Mcizek is a very good hitter.
Oh,
to be able to, yeah.
No doubt about that.
That has a lot into. So Mcizek is up with 1 on and 1 out. First pitch swinging, fouled back. Good point on Nemes, though. Save him for Game 2.
Yeah, I believe it's situational, and it's the only reason we got another pitcher up there in the bullpen. And that is, tell you,
let's see if we can get it. We have a number? Can we get the shot of it, and then we'll take care of that right there. The sun's in the way, but it looks like it's 27.
21. 21.
There's no 21. I think that's no. Maybe it's a 7. Don't have a 21 on the list here. 27 is Justin Diefenbach. So we'll see. You did like those white numbers, right?
I did.
Okay, yeah. That's fouled.
When it's 400 feet away from us, maybe not so much.
0-2.
It is a top flight view from out here.
Yeah. That's fouled back. Mcizek stays alive. Bobiak at first with 1 out. 6-4, Rowan in front with a 6 spot in the 3rd inning. Comes the 0-2. Still fouled back. I know. Yeah, I don't know if that got over the air.
I don't know if that came over the air either, but we heard that clear as a church bell.
Look at that shot. Runner breaking, and it hits him. Mcizek is going to go on the hit by pitch, and that'll be first and second now for the Profs with one out.
Third baseman Victor Cruz.
And apparently Nick Ivera wants to know,
did he turn into it?
Mark Rowan has him making an attempt or not. I mean, that pitch was in the batter's box. I'm not sure how Mark could even make another call like that. All right. I'm going to go with 27 on that, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That would be Diefenbach. So 2 on and 1 out, and Victor Cruz, last at bat, a double. That's inside. Oh, no, it's a strike.
Couple people in agreement with perhaps you more than it all depends what side of the stadium you're sitting on, however.
I'm right behind the plate, about a mile and a half up, so it's fine. 1 strike pitch. That's in the dirt. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th on BFA. The Njac semifinals. Glad you're with us this afternoon. Got a piece of that, and that hit Jackson.
Oof. So
Rowan will give him more time, no doubt. That's not fun.
Nah, that doesn't feel good at all.
Nope. You got a catcher in the family, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
St. Augustine prep alum and now a full-time undergrad at University of Tampa.
And behind the plate cameraman.
He is. It's funny. There's a lot of guys maybe out there watching this game never thought about getting into broadcasting, but former players end up being some of our best camera operators because they
know the game. That's hit the center field. Malik is under it. Runners look like they're going to tag, and they fake it. And no advance, and that's the second out of the inning.
Big out there for Nemus. Fly ball out, not much you could do with it. Runners freeze. That's all you could hope for.
Base hit for Cougars back in the last inning. Time called at the plate. So 2 on and 2 outs for the Profs. There's a pitching change for Kean. That pitch is up high. Looking at the relief pitcher, Nick Nemus. One ball, no strikes. 1-0. Behind the bag at first, Mcizek will watch it go foul. And it's 1-1. Problem is when these balls come back in, they've hit concrete. And they come back to you and you're like, she loves me not. She loves me not.
I've gotten a couple nice souvenirs, however, I will tell you that. Out here at the stadium. Not today, but a previous course. 1
ball, 1 strike. I actually called fan interference one time here on a foul ball on the other side of the tarp. The first baseman actually disappeared behind the tarp. You all right?
Yeah.
That's got to hurt. 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt, 2-1. Rowan's on top 6-4 with a 6 spot in the 3rd inning. Kean with 2 in the 2nd, 2 here in the 4th. Well, on the top of the 4th. Now the 2-1. Swing foul back. It's 2-2. So you mentioned the rebirth of this stadium, and that's really good news. That's great to hear.
Yeah, I'm got some information that there's a couple organizations even considering bringing back minor league baseball here.
Heard the same. 2-2. Got him. Nemus, high heat. Cruz strikes, or Coca strikes out, inning over. So we're going to the 5th. 6-4 Rowan here on BFA.
One.
Thank God that water the cap was covered on that as we start the top of the 5th. Impending disaster avoided in the press box. It'll be Phil Malik, Christian Pallone, and Tim Huxon here in the 5th inning of our Njac semifinal. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic with fumbling water bottle. All good.
It's always an adventure in the booth with us here at BFA.
Oh, how about the potato chips at the basketball tournament? That was
boy.
awful. Malik is 0 for 2. His last at bat, he had the double play ball to end an inning. 6-4. 1 ball, no strikes. Drew Ryback in his 5th inning of work. That's lifted behind the bag at 3rd. And that will find the seats. Cruz gave it some chase.
Out of real estate.
Yeah, 1-1. By the way, when I said that, Drew Ryback, I said that in deference to just the magnitude of the game. I don't know the kid personally, so, but it just, you got the dugout on one side, you got the dugout on the other side. I mean, it's a hot game.
Yeah.
And that temperature just gets hotter and hotter and hotter as that game goes on. That pitch is up high. Malik to be followed by the second baseman, Christian Pallone. Kean down a pair, top of the 5th inning here on BFA. Missed the outside corner. I think Jared Marks wanted that call and didn't get it. So the count runs to 3-1. Here's a 3-1. Bounces up there. Malik opens the 5th for the Cougars with a walk, and that will bring up the second baseman, Pallone. Pallone is 0 for 1 officially with a walk last inning.
Second baseman, Christian Pallone.
You have to go to the A team tomorrow, Mr. Fisher. And now, as you see, the Profs getting some bullpen action.
2 up, number 4, number 12.
I'll get those numbers for you in a second as Ryback throws over. Is Gene Sapini, the right-hander senior from South Plainfield. Throwback over again. And 4 is Mike Shannon from Belmar, New Jersey, and Triton High School. So 2 righties in the pen warming up for Mike Dixon for Rowan here. Top of the 5th, 1 on, nobody out for Kean. They trail 6-4. And you're looking at Christian Pallone at the plate. Takes up high. Well, body language from Ryback there, if you saw that. I know you did, Coach.
Hey.
You don't like that very much. Who does?
Well, he's working hard, dealing.
Yeah, we've got him for 72 pitches already in the 5th inning. Here's a 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Unless I waited that time before I said inside.
That's probably a good piece of advice to give yourself, being a
Look at that shot.
brethren of the umpires.
Who is the cameraman on that shot right there?
That right there, man.
Wow.
Drew Stasic. Who would have known? Kid has an eye for the camera. But he spent a lot of time behind the plate, so that's a view he's familiar with.
To third, Cruz will go to second for 1, and they turn the double play. 5-4-3. It erases Malik, and 2 outs and no base runners for Tim Huxon.
Whew. Great defense all day long by the guys in gold. Rolls yet another one. I believe that's the second 5-4-3 they've turned in this one.
It is, and they also turned the sacrifice or the suicide squeeze bunt in the air back to the bag double play.
Death by pop-up, I think is
And
what
then some.
they call that. Double death by pop-up.
Yeah. Huxon with a double, scored a run. Back in the 2nd inning. Good ball game here on BFA today. Check swing, appeal. Bill Rush says he went.
Again, the 50-50 call, depending upon what side you're on, it's either you're going to cheer or boo. But I guess that's just about every call.
I would say to people, it's like being married to everybody. Pretty much. Here comes the 1-strike pitch to Pallone. Chopped, or Huxon rather, chopped. Oh, it's off DiDomenico, and they are not going to get him.
That's a nice
Or are
play.
they? They are. What a play by Ryback, covering the bag as DiDomenico gets bailed out, and that'll end the inning. A double play and a good play off the mound by Ryback ends the Kean 5th. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th here in Atlantic City. It's 6-4 Profs here on BFA.
One.
Bottom of the 5th here for Rowan. It'll be Ryan Murphy, Nick Schooley, and Ryan Mastrangeli. And Murphy sends one into right field off the first pitch. Marzano can't get it. And a base hit. And now Marzano fumbles it, and Murphy's going to go to second. Murphy hit a 2-run home run in his last at-bat, and now he's on here with a single and an error to start the Rowan 5th. Shortstop Nick Schooley now up. 1 for 3. A single and then a 2-hopper back to the mound to LeJudas. Just like that, though, the Profs got a runner in scoring position, up 6-4 here in the 5th inning. And unfortunately, I am not able to move Connor DeForge from the camera.
No.
That was good. That was classic.
That was.
That was good. Why don't you refresh the folks at home what went on there?
Yeah, so we happened to be doing a high school broadcast, and you were part of the umpire crew, and we always have that kind of chuckle of a lot of times in a three-man crew, or actually two-man crew.
It was three.
It was three. You end up with an umpire in the C position. C position generally puts the umpire right in the middle of the strike zone. So as the game was going on, I leaned out of the booth to the home plate umpire and said, "We're getting screened from the C position," and miraculously the next pitch, that umpire was moved.
Yes, but before that, I believe you said, "Watch this."
I did. I absolutely.
Nemus is at the stretch. That first pitch is outside the schoolie. 1 ball, no strikes. Ryan Mastrangeli on deck.
A little bit of small ball action.
Why not? And I think there was a ball that came in. Sounds like a balk, didn't it? No.
Yeah,
No.
that one came all the way from the bullpen.
Wow.
Interesting setup from the bullpen, at least on the right field side, is they're throwing on the track that goes around the field. You can see down there.
There it is. And here we have a 1-0, a square and a bunt. On the bounce, Giacchio will play it foul. One ball, one strike. There was a little bit. Did you see Giacchio when he squared the bunt? No, he was the runner at third, and he came in on the suicide squeeze. And then Ryback fielded it, and they had some words before, and then Ryback took his time going to third to force him out. It was entertaining, actually.
The competitive juices are flowing.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Here's the 1-1. Lifted in the air behind the bag at third. Giacchio, DeForge, they're both there, and as Doug says,
out of real estate.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Not bad, though. 1:36 p.m. already in the 5th inning.
You did not just say that.
Oh, did I?
I'm
I?
not going to act like I didn't hear you say
Did I?
that.
Okay. All right. It doesn't count?
Listen, I said that once, not too long ago,
Yeah.
and had a JUCO matchup going. It was Atlantic Cape versus Rowan Gloucester.
Oh.
And it ended up going 13 innings. And it ended in a tie due to daylight.
Yeah, the wheels fell off of that one.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
2-2. Fouled away. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Two, nobody out. Murphy at second with a single and an advance on an error by Marzano in right. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Nemus. Nope.
So the bullpen for both these teams, a little bit of a unique setup here at the Sandcastle. The bullpen is sitting in the stands on the adjacent side of the dugout, so you're actually hearing a lot of the things you probably wouldn't usually hear because of how close they are.
Outside, and the count runs full to Schooley.
None of them, however, cheering for you, Chris.
No.
That's a great call. They're not happening.
You know what Chrissy calls me, right?
She probably calls you a lot of things. Most you shouldn't say on the air.
Oh, no.
Oh, nice pitch.
Nice change up. Schooley strikes out. That's the first out of the inning. Big strikeout for Nemus. Now he needs another one. In Mastrangeli.
Left fielder Ryan Mastrangeli.
Yeah, and Mastrangeli was on base again when Domenico hit that line drive, so he's 1 for 2. On base twice. Pitch is a strike. Remember we talked about that? It was the same combination. So
Yeah.
Murphy's at second with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th and a 6-4 lead for the Profs here on BFA. She actually calls me Diva.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Wow. Wow. Down the line, it's fair by Giacchio. Murphy coming around, he'll score. Mastrangeli with a double. 7-4 Profs.
Whew, timely hitting. I was just about to say, this could be one of those moments in the game they're going to look back and say, we wish we would have cashed in, and oh, did they.
Big double, and that will bring up Eric DiDomenico, the first baseman. So the old switch places, and it worked that time. 7-4 Rowan here in Game 1. Just a reminder, Game 2 will follow us approximately 25 minutes at the conclusion of the first one. So Mike Dixon says.
Well, I guess my thought process of Nemus being a situational guy is out the window. He's been in for a while now.
Look at that truck in the outfield. Just missed it.
There you go. Hey, whatever it takes for us to get this beautiful shot you're seeing from center field.
And they're great. Now it's 2-0 to DiDomenico with the catcher Marks on deck. Two-0 pitch. That's ripped fair into left field. Mastrangeli coming around with the 8th run for the Profs, and that's a double for DiDomenico.
Talk about trading places. It was a great movie back in the, I think, 80s with Kirk Cameron, and here they are at Rowan some 35 years later, trading places again.
Trading places was Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
No!
What is wrong with you?
All right, well, there's a lot of things. If you would ask.
That'll bring up the catcher Marks. 2 runs for the Profs here in the 5th inning. They have an 8-4 lead and only 1 out and another runner in scoring position. Did you expect something like this? Because I kind of did.
Well, you go back into last weekend in the quarterfinals, Rowan had to dig themselves out a little bit of a hole. And they got out a little bit behind early on, right? Dig themselves out, chip away, get a 6-run inning, and that one seemed to be the difference so far. Big inning. Crooked numbers for everybody.
It's one of Chris Wheeler's favorite sayings, a crooked number.
I used it so many times in my coaching days with the kids.
Yeah, get a crooked number and win the inning. Right?
It was the only time especially when they're young. How do you visualize that?
Yeah. Jared Marks takes a strike.
And then you always have the honor student who's on your team that wants to have a debate with you which numbers are actually crooked. Like, just get back in the dugout, all right?
Depends on the mood you're in, you know. That hit him. So Marks will go to first. First and second with 1 out, and it's Jason Bobiak. And Bobiak with a big hit in this game with an RBI double. Still 1 out.
Some of the creative cheering I'm hearing, and I guess that's the best adjective I can use. I actually don't believe it's coming from the bullpen or the dugout.
That's correct.
From the stands.
That is correct. There's the bullpen again.
He's getting his work in out there in right field.
Yep. Well, we'll be able to confirm his identity when we get in, but I don't have a 21, and now, of course, we'll look again.
Let's jump into the...
Oh, we do. Matt Baker, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Way to go, Chris.
Yeah, well, I got the pronunciation guide up front. This is ball lifted foul on the right field side.
It only took you 2 innings to come up with that one. Oh, that one was close.
My apologies to the Baker family. Matt Baker, sophomore righty, warming up in the bullpen. He's thrown about an inning and a half, so I think he's ready to go.
He's definitely warm.
Bobiak with a 1-1, and Nemus steps off. DiDomenico at second. He doubled. Marks at first, and he was hit by a pitch.
And we say that in jest because he actually has not been throwing the whole time we're watching him. He's standing down there.
Missed the fastball, 1-2. 2 runs in. 8-4. That's up high. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the top of the order next, and the designated hitter, Ryan Mcizek.
Yeah, this here is an out that Kean wants instead of turning this lineup over again. So Nemus has to bear down.
Close. Missed it. And the count runs full.
It's the late, great Harry would say. It's time for the payoff pitch.
Very good. So this is Nemus, and time called. And Nemus does what you're supposed to do, which is throw the pitch.
Throw that ball anyway.
Well, how many of those pitchers suffer injuries after yanking it or stopping their motion? That's a no-no.
Yeah.
Like Carmen Ronzani in Bad News Bears and Breaking Training shouldn't have done that. 3-2. This one's up in the air right side. Lipchinski runs out of room and then is being held from going down in the dugout.
Yeah, some good assistance
Do it again.
by his teammates.
That's a good thing. Three-two with 2 on. Left field and not deep. Huxon. No advance. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 outs in the top of the order. On base twice today. Scored a run. You can see the fences right there by that shot now, Doug. See those fences? The second fence behind it. Well, when they were all covered with advertisements, you couldn't really tell.
Oh, if it was a home run, if it hit the wall, or if it
right. You really had to peer your eyes. It basically, the best thing that can happen is the home run hits the back of the back fence and just dies behind the first fence. Mcizek swings at the first pitch, fouls it back. And another one that got Josh Jackson. Mark Rowan doing the neighborly thing, the brotherly thing.
He's been hit by a few shots in his day.
Who, Mark?
Yeah. You know, you can't
That explains it.
Well, you can't underestimate, at least maybe.
No, we're just kidding.
You obviously can't underestimate, but people at home can't underestimate. A lot of the umpires, to get to the collegiate level, you guys have got to take your licks at the lower levels.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you find yourself in the senior league games and some of the, like, you know, Babe Ruth prep games. You're not always exactly behind the wall of the catcher, and that usually results in a lot of enemy fire or friendly fire, I guess you want to call it.
Sure, and you know, the other thing, too, is the strike zone. I've always taught never change the strike zone. It is what it is. If you're there till dark, you're there till dark. It's not right. Base hit into left center field. This will be the 9th run for Rowan. DiDomenico comes across 9-4.
Just fantastic execution. I mean, you're seeing the ball in, you're not chasing pitches out of the zone, and that's an advantage from an offensive standpoint because there isn't that added pressure of, wow, you know, we're down a bunch of runs, I got to try to make something happen in this particular at bat. You're hunting. You're got a good opportunity to wait for your pitch, and credit to the Prof lineup, they're doing it very consistently today.
Here's Cruz on base twice, including that okay, fine, after you walk the guy in front of me double. Got a name for that?
Yeah, that's called the hanging on the refrigerator play. Something to be extremely proud of for everybody to see.
Misses 1 ball, 1 strike. You could not ask for a better day, and I'm going to make sure I get this picture from the booth.
Well, don't ruin it by putting yourself in it.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't do that.
Well,
You sure
that's got to be coming up.
You sure you didn't talk to Chrissy? 1-1 pitch. That's there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cruz. Cougars, second baseman on deck. It's 9-4 Rowan here in game 1 of the Njac semifinal. The other one, William Patterson and TCNJ going on. We'll get a score update, hopefully, after the next half inning. That ball's fouled away. So that's why we have phones, and that's why we have internet. And that's actually a plea to, I'm sorry, who was our contact at Kean?
At Kean was Kim DeRitter.
Would Kim DeRitter please report Kim DeRitter if you got a score update for us? Or Marie Wozniak, for that matter, from Rowan. This one's to the right side, toward the line, and foul into the Kean bullpen. So we'll do another 1-2 to Victor Cruz. Prof third baseman from Westfield, New Jersey. Senior. Nemus steps off. So it was 2-0 Kean, then it was 6-2 Rowan, then 6-4, and now 9-4. A lot of baseball left here. That's in the dirt. And it's 2-2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of twos. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 count coming. Here's the pitch. Lifted into left center. It's going to fall for a hit. Another run for the Profs. And a double for Cruz, his second of the day. Marks comes home with the 10th run for the Profs. It's 10-4 Rowan.
They're in the zone. Right now, you have days like this. The great news for the Cougars, this is only 1 of 2. This is 1 of 2. There's still multiple innings to be played. And just as if we saw Rowan put up a 6 spot, that could happen in any given inning.
But at what point, though, you know, if you're Neil Ivero, do you actually say, okay, let's get ready for game 2 while game 1's still going on? You can't do that. You can't coach like that.
No, not when you can put up a 6 spot in any given inning that we've seen.
No. And 2 more runners in scoring position, and the 3-hitter Cougars is up. 1 for 3 today with a base hit. That is the correct score, ladies and gentlemen. 10-4, Rowan is in front. Time is called.
Somebody just got a warning.
It's Bill Rush in the middle of the field. Something about knowing the rules.
Somebody just yelled, he's a freshman. He doesn't know the rules. That's creative. I like that.
Lifted in the right field. Marzano coming on. That makes a difficult play, but he makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. 4 more for Rowan, though. We're going to the 6th. It's 10-4 Rowan on BFA. Welcome back to Atlantic City. This is BFA Sports coverage of the Njac semifinal. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and Rowan is in front 10-4 over Kean. In this semifinal, the other semifinal has William Patterson and TCNJ. That score 4-2. In the bottom of the 7th, William Patterson is in front. I would have given the nickname, but I forgot it.
The Pioneers.
Thank you. Pioneers. I haven't been to TCNJ in so many years, but I remember doing a game there when the great Rick Dell was the coach there, and he's big with Major League Baseball now. There was snow in the outfield pushed up against the fence. And as you know, the baseball's white.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, quote, if the ball goes in the snow, just kill it.
Okay.
Zach Marzano, Mike Mcizek, and Chris Chiaccio in the Cougar 6th here. For Kean, trailing 10-4 in Game 1. And still on the mound for Rowan is Drew Ryback, now in his 6th inning. That's a strike call, 1 ball, 1 strike, I believe. Nope, 2-1. Mark Rowan heard me and he corrected it. Thank you, sir. 2 balls, 1 strike. One hop right to Cocos and 1 out. Mcizek, 2 hits and 3 at-bats. He's hit the ball hard twice. Did you know that your cell phone bill, when you're done paying off the phone, it just goes like quick, you know? Like
Oh, yeah.
It drops like, and then they want you to get another phone.
Yeah, I'm
Chase that one.
convinced that there's some kind of timer built into the phone that the minute you pay it off, it automatically, the battery goes, it starts being all, crazy, and, oh, you know what, guess what, you're due for an upgrade. Oh, lucky am I? Thank you. I enjoyed saving that $40 for 30 days.
Same pitch, same result. 0-2 to Lipchinski. That's good. Spoken like a true entrepreneur that you are. Hey, why not? Let's do that. Speaking of, I have to tell you, I've been utilizing, did you see it? The electronic ball strike indicator.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's good stuff. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Lou Nickerson who invented it. UmpireStuff.com.
Okay.
No, he didn't pay for that ad, but I did it anyway.
That a guy.
One
Don't
ball.
worry, I'll send you a bill.
1 and 2. Take it out of my taxes.
Yeah.
1-2 to the Cougar third baseman Chiaccio, and that's called strike 3. Sorry to Lipchinski, and that's the second out of the inning, and yeah, they're having fun.
They are.
Ryback has 5 strikeouts on the day. Second out of the inning in the 6th. To Dow, it's the third baseman Chiaccio. Again on third, but the suicide squeeze called for. And as they like to say, he was a dead duck.
Fair.
And Ryback had some things to say to him, and he had some things to say. Entertaining. Off speed is in there. Breathtaking view to Sandcastle. That's a strike call. And nothing in 2 to Chiaccio. You know, you look at the scoreboard out here at the Sandcastle. What do you see on the sides? They stole every piece of copper that was on that board.
Oh, yeah. Someone knew it was worth a few shekels.
The 0-2. Chopped at the plate. Schooley charges, has time, and throws out Chiaccio to end the inning. Nothing for Kean in the 6th. We're going to the bottom of the 6th here at Atlantic City. It's 10-4 Rowan here on BFA. So we're into the bottom of the 6th here in Atlantic City in our first game of our doubleheader of the Njac semifinal between Rowan and Kean. It's 10-4 Rowan. And in the bottom of the 6th, it just seems like he's always up. Ryan Murphy, home run, single, 3 RBIs. The pitch is down low. You said 6'7"?
6'7", every bit of it.
Wow.
No confirmation of whether or not he's also like a small forward or a power forward on the basketball team.
Oops. Nemus in his second inning of work. That one got away. 2 balls, no strikes. Now it's 3-0. So I would say our estimated start time 2:50, 3 o'clock.
For a 9-inning game?
That's what I'm going with, yep. That's what I'm going
I'm going to take the over.
Outside, ball 4. Murphy walks on 4 pitches.
Not that I'm condoning any kind of betting, but we are in Atlantic City, and it is perfectly legal.
Oh,
so.
yes. Oh, yes.
Then they are in the top of the 8th in William Patterson up in Wayne, New Jersey at Jeff Alby's field. They do lead the Lions 4-2. Somebody, I don't know if we're going to repeat that one, but we do have a pitching change.
Not nice at all. So Nemus exits. Gave up the 4 runs in the 5th inning. He's responsible for Murphy on base. The new pitcher then should be Baker. By the way, and let's see. It is Matt Baker, the right-hander, who was warming up. That's us. Hi, everybody. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic. No shave Njac. There it is right there.
Yeah, no shave, man. I'm glad you just actually made it to the game because the diva that you are, you rolled up about 12 and a half minutes before first pitch while the rest of us, worked hard. But that's the life of the big guy calling the play-by-play. What are you going to do? But as things start to get reset here, exactly what we talked about. The Profs have had a prolific offense all season long. They've shown a lot of patience at the plate, driven a lot of balls. And it seems now that Kean might be looking a little bit farther ahead, trying to set things up because Game 2 is going to be a do-or-die situation for them.
You mentioned that, too. And, by the way, you look a lot thinner in that position, so we're going to have to switch for the next game.
Yeah, well, you always had a big head, Chris, so if it's the ego now.
Where is Al Fisher when you need him? There we go. That's a little better. Right. No, but seriously, getting back, Mike Dixon has always been at your face, in your face, and very aggressive, and he's showing that. I mean, bunting up 6 runs, getting guys in positions that, to advance constantly, and he swinging at first pitches. I mean, it's aggressive.
He preaches the old school fundamentals that are timeless, and they have paid dividends year after year, and no different here in the Njac playoffs.
So this is the shortstop, Schooley. The new pitcher is Matt Baker, and there's a square to bunt, and that pitch just missed down low. So 1 ball, no strikes. Again, Murphy at first with a 4-pitch walk from Nick Nemus. He's responsible for Murphy. Nemus is. That's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Schooley. Schooley on the day, a single and 3 at-bats. We're going high-tech. We are really. Oh, Murphy runs and hit and run. Foul away. See? Hit and run. And the count is 1-2. Matt Baker, big boy, 6'3", 225 on the mound for the Cougars in his first inning of relief. He's the third pitcher, and that one is sent to center field. Malik is coming in. Right in front of Huxon, makes the catch. And that's one out. Murphy retreats back to first. And that will bring up Ryan Mastrangeli. One out here in the bottom of the sixth.
Love the camera work by our senior videographer, Charles Hope, out there in center field.
You know, this is great to be doing baseball because, you know, in the football career that we have a little football career too here, and we always call Charles Hope the best 50-yard line cameraman in the business, and now we have to call him the best center fielder or center field cameraman. He could be center field too, you know.
He could.
He could still in great shape. Outstanding. Pitches inside to Mastrangeli. A double in his last at bat. And an RBI. And the reaction was priceless. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
1-1 coming. Missed that one. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 with 1 out. And Murphy's still at first in a 10-4 game.
The legendary coach, Tom Ryder.
Lipchinski runs out of room, and it's still 1-2. By the way, what was his reaction to sitting next to me for 4 hours in a women's softball game?
He enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I mean, he actually said, you know, the only thing he'd rather do than that would be to serve a 30-day sentence at a local community jail. Other than that, the coach is a
lifted right side. Lipchinski. 2 outs. You know, and I thought you were going to be really nice, and then you just had to do that. He made several references, though, when he was a coach and I was an umpire, and I said to him, but did I ever run you? He says, no, I always knew when to stop with you.
Yeah. he might actually come out for game number 2, but he was saying, you know, he's coached at Rowan College of South Jersey, Cumberland, Rowan College of South Jersey, Gloucester, and at one point Rowan University. He had a stint. So he's got a lot of Rowan in him.
Swing and a miss from Diefenbach. Another RBI machine here today with a double. Or part of the RBI machine. You know, one thing Tom said quite often in that broadcast was he is not in favor of any of this modern stuff. Nothing.
Yeah.
Especially when, and this is my pet peeve as an umpire, you've got a dugout yelling 4-1-3 to what pitch it is, and you got the third base coach yelling from 80 feet away, 8-2-2, no, 8-1-2, you know, runner breaks, swing and a miss, the throw from Jackson is late, and Mark Rowan's going to call interference on Diefenbach. And that will end the inning.
All right, so an interesting call there, and certainly not a way that Rowan thought the inning might end, but it's effective, going to help the Cougars as they're down 6.
So we're going to the 7th. It is 10-4 here on BFA.
mound catcher Josh Jackson.
Seventh inning baseball here at Atlantic City. This is the Sandcastle Stadium. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic, and the BFA Sports crew bringing you the Njac semifinal. Doubleheader today. Game 1, Rowan's in front, as you can see, 10-4. And in the seventh inning, Josh Jackson, the Cougar catcher, will lead off, followed by the shortstop, Connor DeForge. In the top of the order, and Jackson squares the bunt and misses that offering. So the last half inning ended on an interference call at the plate. Mark Rowan, the plate umpire, said that unfortunately Eric DiDomenico was in the way of Jackson's throw. And you say something about that?
It's a tough call, and the coach automatically, especially in that situation, he wants answers to kind of understand and figure out what happened, but it's subjective. I mean, at the end of the day, if he feels that it interfered with the catcher's ability to get a clean throw down to second base, then that's going to be the call. And being a guy from a coaching standpoint, I've seen the call. I've actually been on both ends. I've benefited from it, and I've been shot in the proverbial foot by it as well.
I'm just going to say, being here in the press box, that the throw looked good. As this is a ground ball to Schooley to his right on his back foot. Look at that play. And DiDomenico with another scoop.
Oh, man. DiDomenico, what a web gem scoop there. Schooley giving him props by pointing across the field saying, my man, pots and pans, you got me, man.
One out in the seventh, and then the shortstop, Connor DeForge. But, again, I'm not down there. The key is, did the batter interfere with the catcher's ability to retire the runner? That's all you have to worry about. So, leave it at that. Unless you want to say something else, that's fine.
No, I'm with you.
But I could tell you this one has hit the second, and Kokis to his knee. Another low throw, and DiDomenico scooping that one out. And that's the second out of the inning.
Little
put it this way. Hang on.
Dance move there by second baseman Kokos.
Yeah, so just to put a little on this, nothing stood out either way to say it was a bad call or not. But that's why they get paid the big bucks. 2 outs in the seventh inning, no base runners in the top of the order. And this is the DH, Frank LeJudas. Through 4 innings today, allowed 6 runs. And still Drew Ryback on the mound for Rowan. This is exactly what Mike Dixon needed. It's your starter into the seventh inning.
Update from William Patterson. They're in the top of the ninth, still holding a 4-2 lead are the Pioneers over the Lions up in Wayne.
TCNJ. They had a pitching coach there, and I forgot his name. It's been so long. It's got to be 16 years. I did not have a plate brush with me. So he comes out with one that was a homemade one. It was a paintbrush. Obviously, what do you call that? The handle was removed.
Yeah.
And he put little tape on it. He never got that back, and that is the plate brush I use today.
Really? Because I've actually seen you ump a few games, and I've seen you use your feet. So I don't know if you had a back issue or.
Oh no, I put the brush on my foot.
Oh,
yes, I invented it.
The kick sweep.
The kick, very good.
Sounds like something you could buy at 2:00 in the morning on channel 8 or something.
3-1 to LeJudas. He was squeezing. That ended the inning back in the fourth. Strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the DH. I would question that. You're your leadoff batter. He's also your designated hitter, and you're going to make him squeeze. But
time and space. Doesn't matter where you're at in the lineup. Everything goes out the window in the playoffs.
Fun to second guess. Kokis is going to get 2. Right through him. Never mind. And the inning stays alive on the error by the second baseman, Kokis. And now it's the center fielder, Phil Malik.
Well, he was dancing. between the last play, so could have been
Karma.
Could have been, as I like to call them, the baseball gods sometimes.
What's her name? Karma.
Yeah.
What do they call her?
Yeah.
Look at that shot, though. Look at that. See the backdrop right there? That's just absolutely gorgeous. And at night, one of the things I recall, just standing there if I had first base and between innings, see the Tropicana, how it's lit at night? See that crown?
Yeah.
Very impressive.
It wasn't there back when the Surf were playing, I don't believe.
Tropicana was, yeah. I still have the pictures.
Well, the quarter wasn't.
Correct. Shallow left. Easy play from Strangely. Inning is over. It is stretch time here in Game 1 of the Njac playoff here between Rowan and Kean. The Profs up 10-4 over the Cougars here on BFA. Bottom of the 7th, you see the score. Rowan in front 10-4. Here on BFA, Chris Losey, Doug Stasic. And a foul ball. And you know it's quiet when you can hear the foul ball hit just about everything. All the seats at once.
The echo of the Sandcastle.
Jared Marks, the catcher, leads off, followed by Jason Bobiak. And then top of the order, the designated hitter, Ryan Mcizek. 2 quick strikes to Marks. Bunt single and 3 at-bats. He sends one to third. Giacchio with the glove. Throw off the bag, but Lipchinski with the tag, and that's the first out of the inning.
Got to hand it. Both first basemen, both Lipchinski and DiDomenico have been scooping some sand here at the Sandcastle.
There you go. Matt Baker in his second inning of work. He relieved Nick Nemus, who relieved the pitcher DH Frank Lejudas. This is Bobiak with a big double when Rowan needed it. Remember, that was way back. Seemed like in the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
1 strike to Bobiak.
And I learned that Eddie Murphy was the one in Trading Places, wasn't.
Check. Justin Sims says no swing. Ball and a strike. What's that, Eddie Murphy? What? Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis? Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next movie coming up later we'll discuss on VFA Sports. Coming to America.
I heard the sequel was horrible.
Nothing is as good as the original. Let's go all the way back to The Godfather.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch, just missed the outside corner. And it's 2-2. Baker in the wind. Got him. So Bobiak strikes out. Second out of the inning. In the top of the order, the designated hitter, Ryan Mcizek. We just go more high tech. Love the graphics. Who's on graphics today?
Casper. Casper's doing a nice job over there. Casper Jones.
Foul back. Mcizek on base 3 times today, including the intentional walk when we had the drama back in the 3rd inning. Two outs, no base runners in the bottom of the 7th here in game 1 of the doubleheader. And Baker looked like he went to the side there to deliver that one. 1-1.
Changing up the arm slot, give him a bit of different looks. He's done a nice job coming in where the Prof bats were kind of hot, and he's been able to cool them off.
Foul tip that Jackson kept, and it's 1-2. Missed low, 2-2. It's a gorgeous day, though, really. We keep saying that, but it's absolutely beautiful here down the shore. Mid-May day. To first, Lipchinski will handle it. To the bag and goes, and the inning is over. Nothing for Rowan in the 7th. We're going to the 8th. It's 10-4 Profs on BFA. It is Phil Maldick, Christian Pallone, and Tim Huxon, as the graphic says. We're in the top of the 8th inning here at Atlantic City. 10-4, Rowan is in front in game 1 of the doubleheader of the Njac semifinal. Chris Losey with Doug Stasek and the BFA Sports crew, and I know you've got the other semifinal matchup between William Patterson and TCNJ. What do you got on the update there?
We are in the final frame, and matter of fact, it is a final. It is 4-2. Game 1 goes to the Pioneers.
So, the series lead is 1-0 for William Patterson. They'll play their second game just like we will here immediately following. We'll keep you up to date on that. The championship of the Njac will be at the higher seed, and if Rowan is victorious in this series, they will host it because they are the top seed. See how that works? That
Makes
pitch is
sense.
up high. Yep. 2 balls and a strike. It's actually Christian Pallone, the second baseman, so who lifts one in the air to second. Kokis, 1 out. So the graphic was wrong because of me. It was all me. I didn't mark the right one, so I'm sorry about that. Apologize to everybody involved.
Epic fail.
Tim Huxon, the left fielder.
Be issuing you a demerit later on.
Every time I hear demerit, I'm reminded of one of my favorite Honeymooners episodes when Ralph gives Alice demerits. It was great. Look at that curveball.
Yeah, that's nasty. Ryback continuing to deal. He's been efficient. He's been ahead in a lot of counts. Only seen him in a couple of jams, 2 innings of now the 8th that he's in. Did he have runners on scoring position?
Mike Dixon couldn't be happier. He's got his starter. He's got a 6-run lead. He's got his starter going into the 8th inning. It's good stuff. And a count of 1-1 to Tim Huxon, the left fielder, with Zach Marzano on deck and right. Another curveball right down there. 1-2. Drew Ryback. Going 7 1/3, and that's a called strike 3 on the curveball. He threw 3 off-speed pitches for strikes, and he got him. Strikeout number 5 we have, and that's the second out, and here is Marzano, the right fielder. Marzano was hit by a pitch his last at bat as an RBI on a fielder's choice ground ball today as well. That smells awfully good. What is it?
It kind of has like a White House sub shop smell to it, I think.
It does. There's a strike to Marzano. It's good. It's good. Fouled back. The fans are relentless. 0-2 to Marzano. Missed the outside edge. A ball and 2 strikes. 10-4 our score here on BFA. Chris Losey, Doug Stasic. Soon to be joined by Al Fisher, maybe? One could hope.
One could hope. You've got to be watching. He's sitting in the office, no doubt about it.
Into center field. Bobiak with the play, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Cougars in the 8th. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th here at Atlantic City. It is 10-4 Rowan here on BFA.
One.
2, 3, 4 in the batting order for Rowan as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. Rowan up comfortably 10-4 here on Kean in Game 1 of the Njac semifinal. And this is Victor Cruz squaring to bunt. Call strike. Cruz followed by Kokis and Ryan Murphy. Shallow center field. Malik in. Makes the catch. He called off Pallone. That's the first out of the inning. That'll bring up number 3 hitter Alex Kokis.
Second baseman Alex Kokis.
But we got our pronunciation down for Game 2.
Very true. I mean, that's called BP for announcing. And based on your first performance, probably have like one gouge in the side of your car, big key mark.
Matt Baker in inning number 3. That one fouled back and 2 quick strikes to Kokas. He'll be followed by Ryan Murphy, who has had a day. Oh, 2 pitch. Missed down low. Now it's 1-2 with 1 out here in the 8th. Struck him out. That's the second out of the inning. And it's the right fielder, Ryan Murphy. As Doug said several times, all 6-7 of them. I would think he'd be in the basketball lineup. What do you think?
He'd be in my starting 5.
Yeah.
I mean, he's athletic, so he can hit a baseball averaging 400. I'm definitely sure he can
rebound
100%.
First pitch swinging to short. The Forge guns him out. Inning over. We're gone to the 9th here in Atlantic City. It is 10-4 Rowan on BFA. So far, going for the CG, as you say, right?
CJ, he's coming back out again. Efficiency has been great.
Going the distance. I like this kid, though, Lipchinski at first base. Didn't mean to.
Oh.
Scattered the Rowan dugout. 1 strike to him.
Up and in.
You sure want to take the overs?
You said we're going to start the other game at 2:50. Did you not?
No, that's it. What did I say, 3 o'clock?
You said
Tops?
2:50.
I'm
going to go over to the quarter and cash that ticket.
A 1 pitch. Good curveball, and it's 0-2. Ryback's been good all day when he needed to. Touched up for 4 runs. Settled down nicely.
We talked about it early on. You know, first inning, adrenaline's going to be pumping. Call it jitters if you want. And the ice started pumping through those veins in inning number 2.
In the left field, it's pretty deep, but Mastrangeli's got a beat on it. 1 out. I just channeled my inner Harry Callis, a beat on it. I never say that.
Hey.
HK. I have to tell you, I must have spent probably 3 seasons with Harry Callis every day after home games. I had a press pass from Temple University when I was calling the Reading Phillies, but I was a reporter, right? one of my favorite stories. I'll tell you. Hopefully, we get some time. This is an awesome story. This is Chiaccio, the third baseman. Reached on an error and 3 at-bats for him. So there was one of those convenience stores right near the vet, and Harry's car was buried, in the preferred lot, and mine was sticking out where the umpires parked, believe it or not, because I knew the guards. And Harry says, "Christopher, do you have your car with you?" I said, "I do." He said, "We're taking an excursion." So we go to this little convenience store, and everybody's looking at him. There's pitches outside, 2-1. Everybody's looking at him in the store. Wow, that's Harry Callis. Wow, that's Harry Callis. Like, nobody said, wow, that's Chris Losey. But anyway, and then the guy behind the counter said, "Can I get you anything else, Mr. Callis?" And he got as my witness. And it's up the middle and through, base hit. Kokas not booted the ball, but actually kicked it. But no further advance. Anyway, so the guy behind the counter says, "Mr. Callis, anything else I can get you?" And he looked at him dead in the eye and he went, "2 packs of Parliament and I'm out of here." And the whole store erupted.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good old Harry.
Yeah. Chiaccio, 1-out base runner for the catcher, Josh Jackson. Now apparently more gamesmanship on the mound. Ryback is stepping off the rubber. Jackson stepping out of the box. And then Jackson stepping out of the box. And Ryback stepping off the rubber.
Well, they haven't been able to get him out of his tempo yet.
It's hit the deep left center field. Bobiak can't get it. They were going to hold Chiaccio at third and a double for Jackson. And the Cougars have 2 on with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Hey, nice job there by the catcher. Able to take the ball, keep the hands inside, and drive it to the deepest part of the park. Seems to be the destination that everyone wants to go for a double today, because all the doubles seems like they've either hit there or down the chalk into the corner on the right field side.
Don't forget our truck is there too.
Yeah. Believe me, Charles Hope, our camera operator, he's got some tremendous hands. There's no way that ball's hitting that camera.
So we have a pinch hitter now for the shortstop, Connor DeForge, at the bottom of the order. For Neil Ivero, it's Brandon Johansen. And he's up in a big spot with 2 on and 1 out. Sprays that one foul.
Nothing but confidence from head coach Mike Dixon. There is no action in the Prof bullpen right now.
Yeah, well, I guess the prevailing thought is Johansen can't hit a 6-run home run. And the top of the order is next, though. So this will be a big at-bat for him, I think. The Judas is the DH and the leadoff batter. 1 strike pitch. Misses 1-1. I probably should have said the first game will end by 2:50. That's what I should have said.
Did we bet lunch or something on this?
Oh, wow.
Something.
Chrissy does that. Come on, that's terrible. Speaking of, you guys are good for tomorrow night?
I would assume so.
Oh, boy.
Down
the right field line. Close to the line. Foul.
Didn't miss by much.
Pitcher Maxwell Smart missed it by that much. And the count is 1-2 to the pinch hitter Johansen. Lipchinski at third with a single, Chiaccio at third with a single, and then Jackson doubled. He's at second. So second and third, 1 out, and a 1-1 count. That's fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes to Johansen. Again, the final and the other semifinal. William Patterson 4-2 in Game 1 over TCNJ. They'll start that game up momentarily. We'll keep you up to date. The winner of that series meets the winner of this series in next weekend's Njac Championship. Here's the 1-1. Right side. Out of play. And it's 1-2. Actually, Casper kind of Where'd he go? Because it's been 1 and 2 now for 4 pitches.
Yeah. He needs some caffeine, I think, over there. Wake up, buddy. Stay on that scoreboard. He rotates. Sometimes he operates on the cameras too. So he's maybe a bit out of his game.
The 1-2. Another foul ball.
The good news is you can't have more than 2 strikes in that situation. So
that's right.
We don't have to rely on him to update the scoreboard again.
Same thing with the indicator. When you don't know what the count is and the kid fouls it off, you go, thank God. What was the count? 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and 2 on here for the Cougars in the top of the 9th, trailing 10-4. But a base hit could make it kind of interesting, keep the inning alive, and then you have the top of the order coming up. Curveball there.
Boy, oh boy, that was dirty. Grab those quarters out of the back of your pocket, Ryback, because you just took them to the laundromat.
And now the Cougars are down to their final out in the designated hitter, Frank LaJudas. Two for 4 today. Now, the Ocean Casino wasn't there in that shot. That I know for a fact. Maybe it was another casino. Foul tip. Because I remember.
No, I don't think so.
I remember that lit. I do.
I think Resorts was the one the farthest down, back down in the showboat. And there's
probably. Get a shot at that. 1 strike pitch. Curveball. Misses outside. 1-1. $14 runs scored, but, less than 3 hours. Not horrible.
No. Plenty of action, and I think the most interesting part.
Cougars, and this will end it. And the Rowan Profs take game 1 of the Njac semifinal with Kean. They win 10-4, and they are celebrating in the middle of the field, and why not? Drew Ryback, a complete game win, allowing 4 runs. And Rowan is 1 win away from the conference championship, and now they're going to look and see. We just got 30 minutes. It's going to start. They'll put us at 3:15. Go ahead, Doug.
I think the thing that I love the most about Ryback's reaction right there is he embraces his catcher, Jared Marks, because he's the one that helped him navigate. There was a couple issues, we'll call it, kind of crazy spots early in this one. Settles down. Marks received a great game behind the plate, called a great game, and helped his pitcher settle in. But, man, Ryback was outstanding. He kept that Cougars lineup off balance all day long.
Here we are, Chris and Doug in the booth here. In the booth, how about that, in the Sandcastle?
That is a nice thing. So got to give a shout out again to Ernie Coursey, taking care of the grounds around here. And this place looks like it is in phenomenal shape. And speaking of good shape, so are the Profs. So they're now up 1 game in this 3-game series with another on deck.
Let's talk about the offense, too. I mean, we'll start with Ryan Murphy.
Hey, Ryan Murphy absolutely, hammered it. We talked about the size, the athleticism, the ball that he deposited into the left field fence. That really ended up being a spark, and after that, Rowan never looked back.
Yep. And you know what? The other thing, too, they never gave up. Not that they never gave up, that they were always behind, but didn't phase them. 2-0 down, didn't phase them at all, and then they came right back in a 6 spot in the 3rd inning, and that's Mike Dixon's been doing that a lot, and he gets a lot of big innings and then turns games around quickly.
Well, the pressure is now on. So Rowan did their job being the home team on albeit a bit of a neutral field due to graduation. But this is going to really create an interesting paradigm for the Cougars as they come out in Game 2 after we have about a 30-minute break, because now you're back against the wall. So some of the things that you might do from a lineup standpoint, some of the things you may do on the bases, you may be put in a position to do things that you haven't done all year long, because guess what? There is no tomorrow right now for the Cougars.
It's a good setup, so we will put a wrap on this one, and then we'll start it over, and we'll come back for Game 2, right? So the final score, Rowan 10, Kean 4 in Game 1 of their semifinal. So Game 2 is coming up next here on BFA. You'll see it live here on the BFA Sports Channel.